We have got set up here the Amana Colonies Bakery. All your baked goods will be out here tomorrow morning. If you're hungry, they'll get your baked goods right here in the pit area. Dan Kirby, my girlfriend Alice from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. There are optional running the sled reset. Any exercises optional drop to the bottom. So this should be our first official distance for our 9,500-pound limited pro stops, our 4-1 trackers. Our first female driver of the evening, Kelsey Davidson. Jason Schultz, Richland Center, Wisconsin. TPA points champion. This tractor was the runner-up in Louisville at the National Farm Machinery Show. Michael Rozier, Horseshoe. Our leader pile off is 307. 7 and 29. Here comes. She got on the 4.1. Pretty short, Heidi.
And then the road was built. Welcome, everybody. Monday, November 14th, Let's Grow Pulling. Brett Yarn, Paul Romack, Ryan Rusink, and myself sitting here. We're going to talk Pullers Championship tonight. I don't know if Charles is jumping on the night or Cody or Doug, but we got the majority of us here tonight. And tonight's show is going to be all about Year 2, the Pullers Championship, our event, and what we're doing, again, to give it back to all of the pullers as well. So how are you guys doing?
Good.
I want to thank my Iowa Hawkeyes for whooping Wisconsin's ass, because my phone was super quiet Saturday night, and normally the last couple of years my phone's been really chattery because all the Wisconsin fans are picking on me, but nobody texted me. No Doc Myers, no Doug Borth, no Ryan Zolik. I just want to know where all my Wisconsin fans are, but nobody.
We gave up after about week 3.
Nobody wants to say no. You guys got your feelings back, and you got your new coach, and everybody got excited, and then. If you win out, you can win the Big Ten West, and Illinois stepped on it again. And I don't know, it's just been kind of one of those things.
Yarn, if it makes you feel any better, some of us Iowa Hawkeye fans went out and bought hoodies that say "Fire Brian" on them, and we wear them on game days just on principle.
My neighbor growing up is cousins with Jim Leonard, so I've known his family for a while, so it's kind of cool.
And I just have fun with it. Iowa sucked less than Wisconsin did on Saturday. That's pretty much how that
yeah.
But you play the game to win, and there was a lot of turnovers by the quarterback for Wisconsin, which it didn't bother me at all. So it's all good. So. Is Adam Wilson a big Purdue fan? I think he is, isn't he?
Adam, are you a big Purdue fan?
I think he.
One way to find out.
Can't beat the state of Indiana.
I was just going to say that. So highlight Colin's comment.
Yeah, so we just had our Badger State show. We had Josh Jacobs. He bought most of Brad's sleds, and we had him on for the Badger State show right before this, and we were talking about that. And somebody commented on there, but I didn't want to bring that up there. So
Yeah.
Did they just put that out on the tech page or something?
Yeah, so it says attention competitors effective immediately 11/14/2022. The current version of the METAS 24.5 by 32 does not meet the specifications in the NTPA rulebook. Therefore, they will not be legal for competition in the 2023 polling season until a new version is presented for approval to the WPI Executive Board and NTPA Technical Services. This ruling is in effect with no exceptions.
Wow.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Illinois stepping on it? What was that?
No, we're talking about the Mitas tires, and I'm
No.
Before that.
No, yeah. Brent, I think you saw where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Roos. I took me 3 extra seconds, but I'm with you now. So, well, guys, May 19th, 20th, 2023, year 2 of the Pullers Championship. We will continue to strive to be better this year than we were the year before. And, we've been announcing the classes. And I think the really only negative stuff I've seen has been the 85 limited pro class. And it's a promoter choice class. Brad Holzhauer is a promoter. And Brad picked those tractors to be there. And so I just want to put that out there. That's really the only consistent negative thing I've seen about the event for next year. And we all know you can't keep everybody happy. We all know you can't have every class. You can't have every puller. We have never intended to do that. I mean, we did go from 12 competitors to 10 to shorten the show up a little bit. We did switch around some classes based upon feedback from you, feedback from the puller, feedback from our promoter, Mr. Holzhauer himself. So, but those are really, and then we're just going to be more organized next year. I mean, I think that's really, if I could summarize it, I mean, we all we've all been around pulling, but we've never been in the heat of it like we were. And I think we all learned a lot from the event, and then we've never worked together as a big group of people like this. There's a lot of opinions in our group. I'm one of them. I'm not afraid to admit it. And, but we all have to learn to work together. And I think we did. So, yep. So
definitely learned a lot last year.
Yeah, and going to what Schultz said too, releasing the classes. The only ones that we haven't released as right now are promoters' choice classes that we are just we're trying to get them all committed first, and we're just going to release names one at a time for those. So those are diesel super stock tractors, modified tractors, and semis. Last year, modifieds were a fan boat class, but we did have a tough time trying to fill the class. So to get ahead of it this year, we want to get in front of those competitors earlier in hopes that they'll commit, or that they'll know that they need to get their tractors ready so they'll have more time to prepare for that. So that was the reasoning behind that. But as right now, things seem good for that class. As of today, 2 of them are currently registered and signed up, and we have 2 more verbally committed after only 2 weeks of starting to reach out. So we have 2 or 3 more that have shown interest. They're just kind of waiting until after the banquet, seeing some schedules and stuff like that. So,
and then
to address one thing here, you can bring up Adam's comment. That I didn't see that. Did you see Opie fall right there?
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't see Opie bite it like that.
Sorry, Opie. But yeah, Adam's comment down there that there was no pro stock diesel trucks. So pro stock diesel trucks are not the only thing that we changed, and we sent out last year surveys. We had one for the pullers, we had one for the fans as well, and we put out there that we wanted to hear what the fans wanted to see, because ultimately this depends on the fans' support. And I don't know. I mean, we listened, I'll say that. And an overwhelming majority wanted to see some of the classes that we changed from last year to this year. So if there's a lesson to be learned here, we put these surveys out for a reason. We want to know what you guys want. And we listened, and almost 2-to-1 margin on some of these classes people wanted to see different. So we're going to try it. We're not saying that this is the lineup that's going to be set for 2024, but when we put it out there, we want responses and we want your input. We mean it. And we listened. We're going to try it this year. And if we need to make changes for next year to the class lineup, we'll do it. But we want to see if the fans are voting for a certain class, we want to see that fan support show up at the show or, potentially on the live stream. But we listened. And that's why, the Pro Stock diesel trucks are not there this year. That's why the 2-wheel drive trucks are not there this year. We're switching things around. We need support from the fans. That's what it all boils down to. And if the fans want to see a certain class, that's what we're going to try to put in there.
And again, if you're not familiar with the format, the auto invites or that you see listed on there, where some of them are promoter choice, a majority of them are based upon how you finished in your points race for the previous season on 2022, or we brought last year's winner back, right, guys? If I remember correctly. And that competitor has until the end of this year, this fiscal year, 2022, December 31st, to go to the website, log on, and accept that invite. And if they don't, that just opens up another fan invite. Because I've had a lot of questions like, "Hey, when are you guys fan voting again this year?" and different things like that. And we absolutely are. And this
one
is
of the things is
from Friday night last year, by the way.
Yeah, one of the things is fan voting isn't commenting on the initial invites post. That is literally just the initial invite. So wait until January 2nd. Let's Go polling on that Monday night is when fan voting will start. So we'll make that announcement January 2nd. We'll also be making posts leading up to it. So we got to give our initial invites the opportunity to make that decision if they want to participate for 2023. And then if they decide to turn that down, that will then be converted into a fan vote opportunity. So each class will have, I think, at least 3. So there is again, less spots than last year. Last year, again, there's 12. We took that down to 10. We realized 12 and having 11 classes kind of a stretch for us to be done in a reasonable time frame. So we decided to cut down 2 in each class just to be able to get done in hopefully that 4.5 hours window that we want to. So that is the reasoning behind that. And then we decided to keep 11 classes, and we are bumping up the semis. We're going to try to get a full field of 10. As right now, that's also looking pretty good. So again, just stay tuned to the Facebook page for us releasing those invites as we get those. So.
And then, last year we as promoters as well as pullers fought part shortage and a late spring, just like a lot of promoters did. And, we hope that's getting better. Paul could speak better on the part thing. If the parts are going to be more accessible to pullers for next year, I don't know, 100% for sure, but Paul's shaking his head. It shouldn't be as bad. And then we can just hope for an earlier spring because normally by the middle of May, a lot of people have their crops in. And this year, nobody did because of the late spring. And that's just part of it. And again, we have to do this event before the season starts, before everything gets going because we do not want to conflict with the national points race at all. And we were able to move it back a week later this next year. I think last year, we were May 12th and 13th or 11th and 12th?
13th and 14th.
We were able to move it a week back because Benson is the first weekend right after Memorial Day?
Yeah, because last year when we came up with a date, we went into it believing that Benson was going to be on that same weekend, the week before Memorial Weekend. Obviously, they changed and they moved to the first weekend in June, but we had already announced our dates, and so we kept with it for last year, and then this year we reached out and verified that Benson was planning to keep the same weekend as this year, so we decided to move to a week back. And again, hopefully that helps us with just an extra week for farmers, and hopefully we just don't have to run into that issue. Hopefully we have a good spring this
and I will
planting season.
And I will admit, I'm a little naive. I really thought we'd have a bigger crowd last year for our first year. I thought we'd have bigger live stream. That disappointed all of us. We've all rallied to do a better job of promoting this event. I don't know if a lot of people were farming and couldn't get away, or a lot of people kind of just wanted to see how the first year went. I know that's always, something. Well, we're not going to go this first year. We just want to see how it goes. We don't want to waste our time going down there, or up there, or over there. I don't know, if or why you didn't attend the poll, but again, the whole premise of this is an outdoor Louisville. where we're giving all of the money back to the pullers. And that's really what it comes down to. So we need, we all say we love pulling, and we all say we want to, do as much as we can for the pullers. By you simply buying the live streamer of this event or showing it up, you are doing as much for the pullers as you can. And of course, we're already on a sponsorship drive for this event as well, because we know what our fixed costs are: sleds, advertising, etc. The sponsorship is used to cover our fixed costs, and every dollar from the live stream and the gate goes back to the pullers. And that is true. That's what happened last year, because Brad Holzhauer covered our losses, so we could give all the money back to the pullers. So we did what we said we would do, but we were all disappointed. I'm not mad, but just disappointed. I think we all felt like we were better promoters and could have had more people there. I mean, I definitely was. I'm still not satisfied, but it's got me motivated to do more and more this year. And we're going to count on you, the pulling fan, to spread the word and to let people know about this great event next year. So, I mean, there's already people booking hotel rooms, but we want to fill those stands both nights, Friday and Saturday.
So what are we going to do about the tire rule?
Well, seeing as how that's a discussion that just literally happened today, we'll have to talk about that, because, like I said, one organization has said that the current tire setup is not legal. So we'll have to figure that out, just like everybody else will. I would expect you'll see some other organizations follow suit, but we'll have to discuss it.
PPL banquets this weekend, Outlaw banquets this weekend. I'm going to the Outlaw banquet. I can find out what's going on down there. What's, all the chatter with, like I said, with this just happening, we got time to figure out what we're going to do. So
yeah,
we got to keep it national. I know you are. I know you know that, but it's a good question.
Because I figured somebody was going to ask it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't me, it would have been Colin.
So
yeah, what are you guys gonna do, huh?
But I think for our first year, we're none of us are ever satisfied with what we do. So, but our first year wasn't a mess. It was a good first year. We just, at the end of the day, we're going to be a little more organized, and we're going to try to get more people there. That's really so we can give the pullers more money, hold up bigger checks. So
wasn't an F, but it wasn't an A.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we heard a lot of good feedback from the pullers, from the fans that did attend, and we're excited. We're making those changes. And Paul's spot on. I mean, there was a couple surprises, honestly, in the surveys, but we went with what the survey said. I mean, I know isn't that from the what game show is that? The survey says
that's
Family Feud.
Yeah, Family Feud.
But I mean, to speak a little bit about that. I mean, we have literally talked to pullers all summer long about this. We've talked to pullers and fans alike about what we wanted to see different. Saw the surveys, and a lot of what we heard reflected what the surveys said.
Yeah, and to go off those surveys, we had 30 some pullers fill out the surveys, and we had like 120, 140 fans fill out the survey. So thank you to whoever did fill those out, because it is good feedback for us. We also read through all the comments on all of our posts. I mean, after the event, during the event, and any of the feedback that we were able to get from talking to pullers and fans at the event or just throughout the summer. So we gained a lot of knowledge through all of you guys, and we're going to take that to just hopefully make this show even bigger and better for 23. So we're optimistic, and things have been rolling here now for the last couple months. So it's going to go quick. I have a feeling. I was just kind of looking at the dates, and we're 6 weeks away from fan voting to open up already. So it's going to be here before we know it.
Please don't say it's going to go quickly. Please don't say that.
Unfortunately, time just keeps rolling.
Okay.
Yes, there will be camping available.
Yeah, it is primitive camping. So you'll need to bring a generator, but we do have spots for some campers.
Hey, I might have a generator.
Hey, Shannon, don't buy that generator. Please don't. Everybody around you will despise you.
Yeah, but you'll be by yourself. That's how you do that, Bruce.
You can buy generators. You just need to buy specific ones, or not buy certain ones.
Yeah.
Shannon, I have a loud generator on my trailer, but I'm currently in the process of making that change.
Boy, they even went so far
fun.
as to create a rule, a Jason Schultz rule about generators for NTPA for next year, and now you're selling that damn.
That
trailer.
was actually the second thing that the NTPA put out today was that I couldn't come to the NTPA events next year unless I got new generators. Are we gonna see the battle of the big diesel supers with Travis and Doug and?
Guess we'll just have to wait until things get posted on the page, huh?
I was gonna say it's
we're working hard on that class.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
Sure, Fighty's ears are thanking him. Hey, and that Shannon, that Jeremy Russian guy, he's a good guy to hang around at meal times. Jeremy and I've talked. He eats well. I eat well, but he eats well, very well. He does amazing things with a Blackstone.
When Roos talks about food,
it gets serious.
Oh yeah, yes, I agree.
Jeremy and I are in the very same boat there. We don't mess around when it comes to being fed and feeding others.
Yeah, during the Diesel Superstock Power Ranking show, that was mentioned that would be the chance to see our Diesel Supers battle it out, because Doug really opened a lot of eyes by sweeping the Pullers Championship and then just winning every outlaw hook. But I think people want to see it again and see the matchups again. So it'd be fun to make that happen and provide that value because we need something to sell the fans too, guys. Let's be real. I mean, what's a bigger story than My Singer and Bone Twister heads up? I mean, I don't know. I mean, from the pulling perspective on it, it's gonna be fun. That's one of my highlights. One of the things we're gonna pound on for sure.
Make a T-shirt that says My Singer versus the world.
The world. But that's how he feels. Because he doesn't get and I love the Outlaws. Everybody knows that, but their Diesel Superclass isn't that strong, and it's not Doug's fault. It's I don't really know where there's tough Diesel Supers. I mean, even with the NTPA, we're lucky if we get 5 or 6, on a night. So that's why that's what makes this event so cool. We get them together and let them all bang it out, before the season starts. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So the trailer hood. That needs to be a t-shirt, Romac. Write that down. The trailer hood.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, camping, we talked about this last night. We had a Doug and I had a meeting with Ricky and Julie Rose about Hutchinson for next year, and camping is a big deal. Bowling Green, you guys, is special because of the fans and the campers. And we want to create that same. And nobody will ever be a Bowling Green, but we want to create that same fun and entertaining, campgrounds, because that's what makes people take vacation and go ahead to your event and support the Pullers, And again, this is video from Friday night last year. You can see we had big names from the sport of truck and tractor pulling in Nashville, Illinois at the Pullers Championship. So,
yep, and we'll have them again this year. We've got some big names that have already committed, so it's going to be the same, only better.
Yes, Brad, we'll be running. The Remedy will be back up and running. Hopefully before that even. Shannon, no hood like the trailer hood. The West versus the Rest. Rest also says, I would buy that shirt, Big Rye. Why outlaw the Mitas, guys? I haven't paid attention to that. Is it circumference? Is it diameter? What are you reading?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm. The tires are, I don't want to say growing, but they're not holding.
Yeah, they're true to form when they first get them, and then when they start using them, they're getting bigger. Am I right, Paul?
Yeah,
I think that's right.
So
did the Mitas? Did they had some success towards the end of the season, right, with the Pro Stocks?
Yeah. There was a lot of sets of those tires that were ordered right after they started coming out. I mean, we saw them for the first time at the truck show. Peter Norton,
Russell had them.
Rob Russell
and Peter.
And I mean, they everybody was already talking about them at that point, and once they got outdoors and they saw how they were doing, there's a lot of guys that are running them and have been pretty happy with them. But like I said, if they're changing, the NTPA has seen some of those changes, and right, wrong, or indifferent, they made their statement today, and we'll see what we can do to remedy the situation, to use better for lack of a better term.
Yep. Well, Brett, do you want to put up your spreadsheet?
Spreadsheet or PowerPoint?
Or your PowerPoint, sorry.
Yes, I can.
This is where Paul calls you a nerd. Nerd.
I call him a nerd a lot more than just this.
That's okay, Paul. We call you a nerd a lot too.
I'm fine with that. Totally fine with it. It means I'm smart in some area, or at least you think I am.
Embrace it.
Your birthday pictures were the best, Paul. I want to thank Misty for those.
Yes, those
True.
were outstanding.
Whose T-shirt did you have on that one, Romac?
Zach's. That was a 4T.
That's
Nice.
Oh,
How did you
that's
not cut off circulation to your melon?
I don't know, but shout out to the fine folks. I think that was either a Hanes or a Fruit of the Loom tank top. Very impressed by their craftsmanship. I thought for sure that fat guy in a little old coat, and I got that shirt on and I got it right back off, and it stayed in one piece. So shout out to you, fine folks.
Sponsorship opportunities are available.
Pretty sure they're going to be like, yeah, we don't want him modeling.
It's all about attention, Paul. It doesn't have to be good attention. So,
all right. I think everybody knows who's doing what, but so what the Polaris Championship is. So this is a PowerPoint from last year, just redone for this year with new information. So what we're trying to do is just invite some of the top Polaris from 2022, as well as allow the fans to vote who they want to see in the 11 respective classes that we have chosen for 2023. When and where. So it's at the Track of Holes Hours. If you guys don't know, that is in Nashville, Illinois, May 19th and 20th. I believe those dates are correct. 6 p.m. both nights. Ages 11 and up is $20. So we did bump, like everything else, prices have gone up. So we're going to do $20 this year. We're going to see how it goes. For the live stream, it's going to be $25 a night, which is what it was last year. But we're going to offer a weekend option for $40. So it's just like being there for both nights if you were in person. You will get a ticket or access to the pits with your ticket. And then kids 10 and under are free. There is no rain date. So if we have one, well, that's later on. Lodging. This is all on the website. Just go under lodging tab at thepolarischampionship.com, and that will give you a link to all the different hotels and motels in like a 25-mile radius or something like that.
Yeah, and this is not all inclusive. I mean, there's more.
Yeah, there's plenty. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
I mean,
Especially
within an hour, you can hit a lot more hotels.
Well, we're an hour from St. Louis. I mean,
Yeah, you can.
right out there.
Yep.
Camping is on site, but it's limited. So once it fills up, it fills up. After that, we will not be taking anymore. But there is campgrounds all around the Nashville area. So if you do still want to camp, there's still plenty of places within relatively close distance to.
Yes,
Nashville.
and we are not taking reservations on camping. It is first come, first serve. Pullers, if you do have a camper that you want to bring in, we are allowing one camper with the hauler if by chance you don't have living quarters in the trailer. We do ask that you come in together, that we're going to try our best to get you parked. If you have, we'll let you park one camper by the hauler. But if it gets to the point where we can't physically do it, you're going to be with the campers, and you're not very far away. If you go on the website and look, there is a map on the general info page, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
It shows you the camping area is well within walking distance. It's literally just right across the way. So you're not going to be stuck out in BFE.
Yep. So for vendors, we will be doing vendor vendor row. It is on the blacktop area, so it will be level. Don't have to worry about dirt and all sorts of stuff. So it is relatively nice. Those
So
are
one of
options.
the things that I want to address here is Brad Holzauer continually is updating the facility, not only the pulling area, but the grounds themselves for the dealership and stuff like that. One of the things last year that we heard was it was a little bit dusty. It was a little dry around the pits because there was a lot of construction going on. Every place where that dust came from last year is now oil and chipped. It is dust free. There's the new building that was in construction last year. It's the new parts and service building for the outdoor power sports is now up and running. And all of that area is now oil and chipped. So the dust will be down basically almost to nothing. So that we have taken care of.
Yep. So a 10 by 10 booth is $300, 10 by 20, 400, 10 by 30 is 500. Those forms are available on the website. Just print it off and send it in to the address that is addressed on that form. Sponsorship opportunities available. We do have the $1,000 event sponsorships, $2,500 elite event sponsorships, $5,000 class sponsorships, and custom sponsorship packages are available. The form is available on the website. Again, you can print that off. There is the electronic version, which we are doing through Jot Forms, but there is a 3% fee in case you want to just pay by card and you don't want to worry about that. But again, it is there is a 3% fee on all that. So options there if anybody wants to do it. But if anybody knows any sponsors, anybody wants to do a sponsorship, please reach out to one of us or just fill out that form if you know what you want to do. And all that information for what level is on that sponsorship form. So
Brett, can you see that comment from Moose down there at the bottom?
We'll kindly ask them to stop.
Yeah, individual runs are fine, but live streaming like full classes or the full event is definitely off limits.
Again, this is
that's
right.
going to draw people away from our live stream.
Which
they do
we're
it for
giving
any
back
other
to the
motorsports and any professional sports. So
we will be watching.
Yeah.
Right. So Moose, if you did that, let's just use you and throw you under the bus just for the example. If you came and did that and you had 500 people watching, that's 500 less people who could potentially buy the live stream, which goes right back to the pullers.
Yep.
So by doing something like that, you're really hurting the event.
Well said, Ryan.
So we're going to, and our entire goal for this thing is to give back to the pullers. So we're going to take precautionary measures to make sure that doesn't happen. So, and that's not a threat. That's just, the nature of the beast. It is what it is.
Yep. So I guess like the whole fan experience there, again, open pits is with a purchase of your ticket, walk around, meet and greet the drivers. There'll be that vendor row. Please support them if they are there. We highly encourage that. They are helping out with our event. So we do appreciate them for, purchasing a booth and setting up. So support those who do utilize that option. There will be the 2 video boards again, doing the instant replay, showing our sponsors. Maybe try to incorporate a little bit more to those next year. Then last year we also had the kids zone, which I believe went over really well. Didn't really get to go over there, but sound like it was a big hit. So bounce house, kiddie pool.
Paul was observed making tractor noises on pedal tractors.
And then they had like the Power Wheels demo derbies, and so it was a pretty good turnout. Again, I wasn't over there, never got the chance to, just busy doing some other stuff, but from what I heard was a pretty big hit. So that will be again. Paul, you're muted.
And I did have a single charger when I got to the end of the kiddie pool. My charger did go toot toot toot.
So just some information for the poll. We will be using the Bungart sleds. Again, So we'll have 3 big sleds. One of those will be a backup sled as well as the mini rod sled. And we will be utilizing one of their video boards. We have a good relationship with them in the track. And we all know Bungards pretty well. So that's the decision there. And that's who Brad's comfortable with for sleds. The overall winners, we're going to change that this year. We're going to do it based on like the golf score. That's what they do for the Bowling Green Ring. So we're going to combine their placing. So if you get a first and a fourth, that's 5 points. And then golf score is going to be the lowest combined placing wins. The tiebreaker will then go to the combined distance if there's 2 people with the same score.
So one of the things that the feedback that we got last year is pullers kind of wanted to see that. We did look at what would have changed if that would have been the way we did it last year. And I believe of all the hooks, it would have changed 1 position. So we're going to do it like this. And like I said, we're going to try it this year. If we decide that we want to change it back next year, we'll do it. But we're just going to try something different.
Yeah, we know it works with Bowling Green with doing their rings, and it's worked with other events in the past. Just the biggest thing with that is that it's easier for the competitors to keep track. So they're able to easily keep track of it on their own. So that was kind of the feedback that we got. And like we said, we looked at the results and it changed 1. So shouldn't be too big of an issue there. All pullers will have to pass a technical inspection. Kind of common sense. Got to make sure they got the safety equipment and that they're meeting the rules. Tech officials and workers, again, will be from the major associations, just like last year. So we will have people that know what they're doing on hand. There will be no rain date. If one session does rain out, the winner will be determined by the one session that we did get in. There is a $500 non-refundable entry fee. We say it's more of a commitment fee, as that just is committing to our event. If they do have to back out for whatever reason, it is non-refundable. We just need to make sure that the puller or the fans know who they can expect to be there. So that's our way to try to get them to commit.
One thing on the rain date, if by chance both sessions rain out, all entry fees will be sent back to pullers. All sponsorship money will be sent back to sponsors. Basically, we just send everybody their money back. So you're not out anything if by chance it does get rained out. So we wanted to do that to make sure that, nobody felt like they, kind of got stiffed over the deal. We're not keeping a dime of this for next year. Everything that we get goes into it, and it would be the same thing in a rain date or a rain out. If we're rained out both days, then all money goes back to pullers and sponsors and vendors.
Yep. Registration is currently open online as well for invites. So if you are initial invite and you haven't registered, if you haven't heard from one of us, which at this point, most of them have heard from us. That is open online. So if you haven't, and I know there's quite a few several that I've talked to that have verbally committed, they just haven't registered yet. So we're just waiting on them.
If you haven't been approached and you're on that initial invite list, you're probably on my list of people to contact. So don't get excited. Been a little busy here lately. I will be in touch with you very soon.
Yep. So payout, we've already kind of discussed this a little bit, but Brad is going to guarantee that $50,000 in purse money again. So if we don't make that at the gate between the gate and the live stream, he is going to guarantee $50,000. 100% of the gate goes to the purse, 100% of the live stream goes into the purse. They're going to try to do the 50-50 raffle again, where each night half the pot will go to a class, and it'll be distributed evenly amongst all the competitors in the class. Again, all the entry fees or commitment fees will go back into the purse. We're not keeping any of that money. And then any of the sponsorship and vendor money that we get covers the event costs. Anything over our initial cost for the event will then go into the payout as well. So going over the classes, this was posted on our page. It's pinned to the top, but 85 limited pro stock tractors, the 95 limited pro stock tractors, super farms, the pro stocks, super stock diesel tractors, light super stock tractors, four-wheel drive trucks, super stock diesel 4x4 trucks, modified minis, the modified tractors running the NTPA rules or National Farm Machinery Show rules, and the super semis. So the new classes this year are the super farms, four-wheel drive trucks, and the minis. So that's what we heard feedback from the fans, and so that's what we want to get incorporated into the event this year, and that's the reason for those changes. And how the fans can help. Obviously, sharing this on social media is going to be huge for just reaching more people. And then just attending in person or purchasing the live stream. Again, you purchasing the ticket, either one night, both nights, in person or on the live stream, is going to just go right back to the pullers, and you're helping them. Again, we're trying to do this for the pullers to try to get them, the payout that they deserve. Then if you have any potential sponsors, just send them our way. Any lead is not too outrageous. It can be, just a simple conversation that could lead into something bigger. So if you have anybody that may be interested or you think could be a potential for us, just let us know and we'll talk to them.
If you know Elon Musk, maybe send him our way.
Mm-hmm.
He in part is one of the reasons that Diesels and Dark Corners went off without a hitch, at least on the digital, electronic, social media side. So, if anybody happens to have good old Elon on anything other than Twitter, hook some brothers up.
Yeah, and then keeping up to date on the Facebook page and the Pullers Championship, as well as our website, which is www.thepullerschampionship.com.
And whatever you do, please do not take anything that you see on the pull-off forum as official information. If it is not posted on the Pullers Championship Facebook page or the website, it is not official.
Unless it's coming from one of us.
Not even that.
Almost that.
I would say not even that. If you have any questions whatsoever, go to the Pullers Championship Facebook page or the website. Everything official will be posted there.
And then let's see. So this is the website. If you guys haven't seen it, pullerschampionship.com. A lot of the event information will be under here. Still kind of a work in progress. Once the classes start getting the invites, you'll be able to come on here and be able to click on the different classes and see who has committed so far. All the rules, which ones we'll be following, puller registrations here, lodging, and then all the sponsorship forms. If you want to go back and watch last year's event, you just click on the live stream tab there. So pretty straightforward stuff. If you have any questions or concerns with, the website, reach out to me and I'll get things updated if you're having an issue with anything.
Yes, that would also be fine, Wyatt. Work on that for us, please. Russ, you may not get off that easy down the road. We may just have to draft you into service too.
Schultz, did you want to go over the initial invites that are posted on Facebook page?
I do. I'm just going to scroll the timeline. Is that okay, Brett?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a PowerPoint ready.
Oh, I do also have this. Somehow I skipped 2 slides. So for the initial invites and fan voting, here, I'll just share my screen again quick.
He's buying you time for dinner, Jason. You're welcome.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, let's try this.
Colin, go to bed.
So the initial invites and fan voting. So again, the top pullers from NTPA, PPL, Outlaws for each class were invited. Outside the Promoters' Choice classes, even though we still, for the most part, a lot of them will be some of the top ones in the points. The initial invites have till December 31st at 11:59 Central Time to register, or their spot will go to a fan vote spot. Then we will do, again, 2 rounds of fan voting. The first round will be a list of all pullers and respective classes that pulled in 2022. If you're not on that list and you want to be on it, if new vehicle, you didn't get out, and you have to reach out to us, and we will get your name on that list. But we're not going any further than that to try to figure out who didn't pull. And And then the second round, we will take the top 20 from the first round of fan voting in each class, and we will make that list. And the top pollers then that are voted in after the second round of fan voting. If we need 5 spots, we'll take the top 5. And then we'll try to have a reserve list of at least 1 or 2 guys that, in case somebody last minute backs out, we are able to reach out and fill those spots. But just stay tuned to the Facebook page if anybody does back out. We tried our best last year to do that when we found out. And then kind of a schedule for these invites. So again, end of the year, December 31st, the initial invites will have round 1 of fan voting will open up on January 2nd on Let's Grow Polling, and will end at 11:59 p.m. on January 15th. We will then take a week to get the list updated and reach out to make sure, like we did last year, we're going to try to reach out and get the top 20 that will commit to the event, because we know not all of them will be able to. So that's what we're going to try to do again this year. And that will then open up on January 23rd on Let's Go Polling, and we'll close at February 5th at 11:59 p.m. We will then announce the classes on who got voted in on Let's Go Polling on February 13th. And then the final list of pollers will be posted once all pollers are registered, which we hope is shortly after February 13th. But again, last year it was a tough spring, so it was we had a lot of people that committed, and then parts didn't show up and they couldn't make it anymore. So hopefully that won't be as big of an issue this year, but we won't know until that time comes.
Jason, how's
Schultz,
dinner?
can you highlight Robert's comment there at the bottom?
Yep.
So these are the kind of ideas that we would love to hear. This one might be a little too late for this year, but Robert, that is perfect, because the last sentence in your post there, drivers do the promoting to increase the purse in the class. That is what this kind of the thought behind all of this is that we want to make the pollers the promoters, in a sense that the pollers bring the show, and we want you to let your fans know that if you're coming, that's where you're going to be. I mean, it's different than a pre-commit list, because some of that, there's other things that go along with that pre-commit. But if you're going to be somewhere, whether it be our poll or any other poll, let your fans know about it on social media so that your fans can come there and see you. And, when you do that, it supports not only that puller, but it supports the entire organization that's putting it on. It supports the fairgrounds that may be having that fair or whatever, if it's a standalone. But that's what it needs to do. The drivers and the teams, they can be the best promoters. We'll do everything that we can within our power to make this the best possible show, and we will promote the hell out of this. But whatever the pullers and fans as well can do to say, hey, I'm a fan of such and such. I'm a fan of Brent Shorefighty or Jason Schultz, or whatever. Let them know. Put it out there that you're going to go there to see them, and you might bring somebody with you. You might say, hey, I didn't know that this was. Let some people know that, hey, I didn't know this was going on. Anything that you guys can do like that helps tremendously, and we appreciate it very much.
So these are the initial invites for the 85 Limited Pro. Again, this was a promoter's choice class by Mr. Holzauer himself. So those 10 people, I'm sure they've all been notified, right, Paul? I'm Mr. that class.
I believe so.
Yes, sir.
And I think like 6 or 7 have already verbally committed for sure.
Thank you, Russ. You traveled a long ways, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Russ is a good man. That's a good looking truck.
Yep. So going over, we already announced two of our invites so far, and those were 2 of our promoters' choice. That is semis. I'm doing everything in my power to make sure we have 10 there this year. And one of the first ones I reached out to is John Nee. He was supposed to be there last year. He is from Illinois. He's like 2.5 hours away, I think, 2.5 hours away. He's on the eastern side of Illinois. And he went to go start up the truck about the week of the event, I believe is early in the week, and he had a lifter break on him, and it things kind of snowballed, and he ended up hurting a cam, and because of it, he never got a pull all year long. So he was pretty excited that I reached back out and asked him if he wanted to go. So he immediately said yes, and so we're looking forward to having him. I've never got to see this truck personally before. So and I think he's only hooked about six, 8 times or so. And from what I've seen, it looks like it's a good running truck. So we're excited to have him.
And come on, John, you got bit with the worst luck possible at the worst time possible. How are we not going to give you another shot at it?
Yeah.
Plus,
he sent me
we
the
all wanna see a
pictures, and
Superliner
it's
on the track.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer when he messaged me last year, but we're gonna.
I remember when you put that into the group chat. We're all gonna.
Yeah, and Mark, I'll just say it one more time. The 85 is 100% promoter choice, and it is our Mr. Holzauer owns 618 Motorsports, so they might have something to do with that. So I mean, it's really just a simple that without this event, without Brad, we don't have this event. So it's not a rip on the Outlaws or anything like that about this specific class. It just is what it is, and we're just going to rock and roll. But I'm not afraid to address it though either.
Yep, and we have a reserve list. If there's people that turn this down, there's a chance that more than likely that an Outlaw will get invited. So we just need to see what our initial invites do first, and then we'll just have to see what goes from there. But again, it was Brad. He came up with a list and he gave it to us, and this is what we have. So
Mark say didn't. Yeah, we're not afraid to answer any question, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's all good. Let's see here. Okay. Go ahead, Brent. I'll just flip them up there.
So modified minis, we took the top 3 in each NTPA and the PPL. So both Adam Bowers, Iron Toy, and Cowboy Up, Theobald's Little Wicked, Jordan Nelson with the Simons 2 mini rods, Loud and Mini, and Simon Says, and Chase Richardson with Vibrator. So, and then we have 4 that will be up for fan vote, and there's a lot of them out there, and we could fill in one hell of a class. So we'll see what happens with the first 6 here. So as right now, at least 4 will be fan voted.
Again, and like to Brent's point, if let's say Jordan Nelson doesn't sign up, Loud and Mini and Simon Says, because they're not on sale, but they are for sale. I'm just teasing RJ if you're watching. Then that would open up 2 more fan vote spots. That's how that works then. Yep. So that we'd have 6 fan votes. So It's kind of a neat way the way we do that. So yes.
So just for anybody who's playing along at home and has this question specific with Simons, they get rid of if they were to get rid of Loud and Mini or Simon Says, but they had another one ready to go. And I'm not speculating, and I'm not saying that RJ has minis in the woodwork. So nobody go out on pull off. But how would we handle that? Would they be able to swap in?
So it goes with the tractor. So if a vehicle sells, it goes with the tractor. So if the new owner then would become the new recipient of that invite.
So if I bought Loud and Mini, suddenly I have the chance to go to Puller. God, that's a terrifying thought of me buying.
Oh my God. If I had the money, I would make that happen, Roos, for you to see you inside a mini rod.
What do you want me to freaking wear it?
Well, it would be a hell of a Halloween costume.
It'd be an outfit,
I don't know if the
for sure.
roll cage would even be tall enough for Roos.
Shoot. But again, we like to go through different scenarios like that and talk about that. So it's all good.
So limited pro stock. So Brad wanted 3 tractors there, and that is Schultz with the Remedy, Brett Hackstead with the 618 Motorsports entry, and Brent Shorefighty with Shigon 4.1. And then we invited back our overall champion from last year, Nick Gallitz with Running in the Red. And then we invited the Silver Series champion and the Outlaw champion with Andrew Hartman, International Addiction, and David Novak's The Mean Farmer. So as right now, four spots will be up for fan vote, but that could change.
And what that means, I mean, and as you're starting to see, folks, there's not an awful lot of spots here. So if you're a puller and you're watching this and you want your shot at these guys, you better start building some of that fan vote stuff now. Not like tell people to go and comment, but the easiest way to get your message out there, this is a little inside baseball, is to be active on your page. So if you are XYZ pulling team needs to start building a precedent of, hey, we're posting, we're talking, we're interacting with fans, because that puts you higher up in the algorithm. It serves you up to more of the people who follow you, i.e. the people who can vote for you. I would love to steer in a mini with ape hangers. That would be fantastic.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard different things. If Andrew or Brad's watching, they can comment.
Yeah,
I can comment that it was sold.
Yeah.
There you go. Edson, it was sold.
And then for Wyatt's comment there, yeah, Galtzes they're tough. So, and I'm sure they'll be back for a vengeance. So
those red tractors like the Nashville.
They like that Nashville dirt. And then going back to, so that was our first invite. There was Ryan DeBrew. New Franklin, Wisconsin, playing with fire. He's been a supporter of this event when we reached out to him when we were in the initial planning stage, like week number 2.
Where's that picture at?
Talking about semis.
Where's that picture at?
Norwalk, Ohio, at the dirt.
Oh my God! Look at that grandstand.
On the track.
Yep. Is that the one where they build it on top of the drag strip or whatever?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So we appreciate Ryan for being.
Yeah, he was one of our first calls, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was our first or second meeting that we called him and asked, like, would you come and help us try to get some semis? And he was just like, yeah. And so it's been it was a long time ago, but now we're in year 2 and he's going to be back and hopefully vying for that championship. So moving on now to the pro stock tractors. We invited top 2 in points with NTPA and PPL. So that was Kevin Schmucker and Julia Ray with Rampage and Mac Daddy respectively. And then Simon's Loud and Heavy and Loud and Loaded. We invited last year's overall champion, which is Esden and Robbie Lemke with New Generation Plus. And then there's going to be a new tractor there. And that is Promoter's Choice for Brad's new tractor, the 618 Motorsports entry. So we will have 4 spots as of right now for for fan voting.
If you haven't figured it out yet, Holzhauer likes pulling.
Yeah, and he'll pull anything. That I heard a rumor that 618 Pro Stock was going to be like a Cup Cadet or something. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. I love you, Roos.
Hey, if the haters are going to talk on pull off, let's give them something to talk about.
Let's give them something to talk about.
I listen to Bonnie Raitt once in a while.
Brent, is anybody verbally committed to pro stock shit?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't say who.
Oh, you can't.
You'll find out.
Yes.
I know.
You all should know because I put it in the group chat every time I get one.
I was just baiting you a little bit.
All right.
It's good for the show. It's good for the algorithm. More comments, Bruce just explained that a little bit ago. You should pay attention.
I don't do that. So one of the new classes this year, 4-wheel drive trucks. We invited top 2 NTPA, top 2 PPL, and top 2 with Outlaws. We are going to run your rules respectively for each one. We talked to some of the 650 limited cubic inch guys with NTPA, and they were not afraid to run with the big mountain motors, which it's not drastically more that they're running. But there are a few with PPL that run with them, and they compete. So with that, the initial invites are rule number 19, Jake Zaring, Foreplay, Jim and Paul Holman, Midnight Raider, Jim Bosch, Running Wild, Charlie Hines, Risky Business, Eric Claypool, and Thumper Lane Thornton. We do
We've
have
got some
verbal,
icons in that list.
Yep, we have some verbal commits in this class, and we also have one that has so far registered. So
Eric
cool.
Claypool, legend has it, Eric Claypool is already looking for a nitrous bottle warmer.
Light superstock tractors. So here we invited top 2 PPL, NTPA, and Outlaws. So Adam Spiegelberg with Detonator Black, Marcus Weddleson, Gunpowder and Lead, Terry Blackburn, or Josh, whoever wants to drive, considered armed and dangerous excessive force. Justin Hoffman with Last One Standing, and Deer Fever, Gary Whip. Justin was also our overall champion from last year, so he double dips. So that's why there's only 4 here still.
Read that comment.
I did know that.
Random fact of the day. So this is something I've heard some feedback for, and I didn't tell you guys last week, but a lot of people listen to this, tomorrow at work or the next day on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we just, and I'm guilty of it because I'm, one of our, whatever, I'm the one who sees the comments and puts them on the screen, but I always just let people answer that. We need to read what we put on the screen because when they're listening to the podcast, they can't see that. So I want to thank for you guys for telling me that. So so Colin Burkle says, random fact of the day. The Zaring family was on an episode of Wife Swap. So that was that show, and it wasn't as naughty as it sounds. It was like they just was it like a week or two? How long did they do that?
Get your mind out of Gunner Schultz.
Well, I mean,
yeah, it was like a week or something like that.
Just got home from Key West. Give me a break.
An interview with Richwine comes to mind from a few years ago.
Yep, that's all I'm going to say.
That's funny.
Richwine is always a hoot. So thank you for that, Colin. Thank you for that. Okay.
Colin is such a fount of worthwhile information.
And he works on first
You all
shift.
thought I was going to say worthless.
And he's on first shift now too. It's not like he's even doing this at work anymore. Like
he's doing this because he's trolling us because he loves us.
Esden, to answer your question, yes, that can be changed.
If
The
we
invite
enter
goes
somebody
with the
else wants to
tractor.
drive, and the name be changed.
Yep. Tractor gets the invite, not the driver. And we did have that last year. I know with Light Superstocks, Jason Irvin with Drunken Pumpkin. He drove the first night and then asked if his wife could drive the second night, and obviously totally okay.
So yes, if you want different drivers for different nights, that's perfectly fine.
Moving on, Superstock diesel trucks. You got something, Bruce?
I was going to say that'd be an interesting trend. I was trying to remember whether Jason or Mrs. Jason drove better. I cannot remember what her name is. I want to say Amy, but I don't think that's right. Heather. But wonder who has bragging rights in that household for the year.
Yeah, I know they do. They swap a lot throughout the season. With
That wasn't her first time in the season.
No.
She's driven them quite a bit.
Yep. So Superstock diesel trucks, the initial invites here. We invited top 3 NTPA, top 3 PPL, as well as our overall champion from last year. So that is Shane Kellogg and Trump, Justin Gearhart, Cream of the Crop, Todd Dugan, Angry Shine, Eric Stacy, Smoking Young HD, Chase Eller, Caretaker, Ken Crowder with Shy Diesel, and Mr. Van Hazley, Rock Hard Ram.
Are Blackburns going to participate? Has anybody heard from Josh?
It's not more as Blackburns are going to participate. We need to reach out to Mike Chiswick.
Mike, the owner of the tractors.
So it's more up to Mike. Blackburns pretty much, if they're not necessarily told to, but it's got to go through Mike. He's got to approve it first. So
okay, we'll get on that. Nick, text Mike. Brent Shorefighty says, make sure my registration went through. I got a call after I hit submit. Probably a fire call, knowing him. So you want to look
Somebody
that up?
trying to sell him a vacuum cleaner.
I'm a good vacuum cleaner seller.
No, but Esden's did.
Sweet.
So there's a little teaser. Figure out which Esden. Super Farms, another new class for this year.
Generating a lot of excitement.
So top 3 with Super Farms and or top 3 Super Farms in PPL and NTPA. Gary Shavink in New Attitude, Ryan Anderson checking out, Dave Whalen, My Last Excuse, Josh Miley, High Maintenance, Don Slama, Fast and Furious, and Brian Barman hooked up. That leaves 4 spots for fan voting. So we're going to be mixing the cooler tractors versus the non-intercooled tractors. And what we're going to do there, and we've talked to the Super Farm guys, and they all seem to be fine with it, is that we're going to do intercool at 9,300 pounds and non-intercooled at 9,500 pounds. So I'll give them 200 pounds for not running the intercooler to try to level that playing field just a little bit more. And that's everything. So again, the 3 classes that we haven't announced anything for, Superstock diesel tractors. And I'll say right now, we have 2 that are registered and 2 verbally committed. We have the modified tractors that 2 are currently registered and 3 verbally committed. And semis, we have 4 that are registered. So those will be getting posted here in the next few weeks, as well as any of the other invites at in the other 8 classes as they get signed up.
That was so cool seeing that tractor there.
Which one?
That one.
Oh yeah.
Just this would have been Rodney's kind of event. Mm-hmm. He would have 110% been all in on this, and he would have had a blast no matter where he finished, whether it was first or last. And that's the kind of stuff that we love.
Mm-hmm.
That one's for sale if anybody wants to buy it.
Sure is.
It's got some of the prettiest paint you've ever seen on an Alice.
Yep.
Period.
And I wanna thank them again. Last year they pretty much brought their bakery shop to the Polaris Championship, and they donated like $1,200 back to the purse. So that was awesome of them to do that, and thanks to whoever stopped by and purchased something from them.
Plus, it was a hell of a breakfast.
It was.
It was very, very good. That's the tractor that Rodney would have been rooting for, too. Here's a fun fact. And actually, Jason, I'll ask this as trivia for you. Rodney, actually, his first love was orange tractors. What was the tractor that he and Bryce ran together? What was it called? And what was it?
The Bounty Hunter.
Well, damn it. I should probably make a harder trivia question, huh?
Well, I mean, I follow orange tractors, That's how we met, remember?
Orange tractors?
Yeah. Well, you come at ECI and Dad had the D21. So, blackjack.
It's true. Did Dad miss that tractor? Did he ever miss it? Or did it get to be just a lot of work and
no, just
simpler life was better?
Yeah, ECI changed the rules on that the twin turbos for the D21 back in the day. So, yep.
So it was Ryan Seek's fault, that rotten jerk.
No. So
I just want to see if he's listening. That's all.
So Moose.
I talked to the Outlaw guys, and I told them basically if they want to, they could. They just have to succumb to the rules of the NTPA or PPL Super Farm. They can't. We're not doing anything different for that 3.7 or whatever it is. So.
And so for the people that are listening to this and not watching this.
Oh, thank you, Brent.
Will Outlaw Super Farms be allowed to run if the driver makes changes to fit the rules? Yes, they can. but so they'll be on the fan voting, but they have to reach out to us and let us know that that they want to run those rules and that they would take their setup and change it to NTPA or PPL setup. There's a lot of them. I guess I don't know how many technically run with Outlaws with those rules, but we just can't reach out to every single one of them and try to do that ourselves as we're already busy with everything else. But we will accommodate for that if they are going to accommodate to the rules that we're going to be running. So if they want to, they just have to reach out to us and say that they will, and we'll put them on that list. So
Yes, we do need Lonnie Saylor. I agree with that statement.
well, everybody bug them. But yeah, there's a handful of pullers that they're interested. They haven't verbally committed yet, but there's a lot of interest out there with several pullers, and especially the promoter's choice classes, but as well as the rest of the classes as well. So far things are going well with I guess the first couple weeks of these invites, and like I said, just kind of stay tuned to the Facebook page, and we'll just be releasing those as they come in.
Please share it around.
When I have time to get them posted.
For the algorithm, please share stuff around. We appreciate that a lot. So.
Ooh, good one. Is all the merchandise from last year gone? It's on a pallet to Schultz's house right now. So he'll be getting that and sorting through it, and so hopefully here in near future, last year's merchandise, what we had left over, will be on the website. Beer Money website?
beermoneypullingteam.com under our Beer Money Gear tab. So yep.
So we do have leftover merchandise from last year.
Hey Paul, was that inventory by any chance before you sent it, like sizes and stuff? Is that all wrote down?
Actually, no, that is going to be your job.
I just wanted to.
Actually, that's so. Be, I will say. That's going to be. I Doug will Ford, say.
Mackenzie Thieving and Chandler Pickler's job.
They are. There is anywhere from youth sizes all the way up to like 4X or maybe 5X. There's a broad range of sizes, and there are T-shirts and there are hoodies. So. Just keep an eye on the Facebook page and you'll see all that.
Jason, if you guys happen to find a 4X hoodie, would you set that aside for me, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm going to write that down. Hope is growling right now. I didn't say Hope's
name. Yeah, didn't say her name.
So we all know without Hope, Doug is worthless. I mean, that came out wrong. How do I say this more, Brent?
Half a man.
Half a man, yeah. Hope's not very tall, but she does a lot. So that was a little pig on Hope a little bit. So because Hope loves me. So her life has never been better.
Yep.
Yeah, the ECI started their 7 members in their Hall of Fame. Doug was there. He talked about that. Doug went down and talked to all the ECI pullers about our event promotion package. Him and Hope went down to Farley Saturday night. So he went over to Simon's and drooled a little bit. So
was that where they held the banquet?
Yeah, at the Speedway Roos.
Nice.
Yep, that's
a good place. That'd be a perfect place for that event too.
Well, I mean, and there's 17 pro stocks within 2 miles of there, so it's all good.
Pretty much.
You know how they always joke about there's like a spot like up by Fond du Lac. There's a spot where more lottery tickets have been sold, Miracle Mile or whatever they call it. That's what I call Farley now. So $1 million mile. So pro stock heaven. Right next to the Field of Dreams. No pun intended. Sort of, kind of.
A little.
Mm-hmm.
A little. Well, we are just a ball of fire tonight, and it's okay if we have a show that only lasts an hour and 14 minutes, guys. So,
Agreed.
Yep.
Boy, I will say this. There's a lot of tractors up for sale right now.
Yeah.
I saw at least 4 of them today.
New ones?
Huh?
On the pull off, well, Yarix put the couple pro stocks up, right?
Yep.
I saw that.
Yarix. There was very bad thing. Is it bad things or very bad things?
Bad things. That's Rick Evans' ECI Super Farm.
Yep. And then Jeff put the red one up.
Running bears for sale.
Yep. And somebody said Little Bear was for sale too. I don't know if I believe that.
Brad Caudale put that up there.
Brad, I don't know if I believe you.
Brad's pretty tuned in though normally.
Yeah, but I kind of think Jeff was really having a blast with that.
Doesn't he have 2 minis?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just gonna keep one. Who knows?
Yeah, but he put Mrs. on one night.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you for all the tractors that are for sale, there's a whole bunch of new ones being built. A whole bunch. In all classes. So
what class do you think is seeing the most growth in right now? Without, I mean, you don't need to throw any names out there, but what class, generally speaking, is the hot class right now?
watch this 5-inch pro stock class. That's all I'm going to say.
That's kind of what I thought you were saying.
And that's not all. I mean, that there's new tractors being built in all classes. But that 5-inch pro stock class is going to get big in a hurry, I think. Whether it be a mix of tractors that are already out there that, you know, may have been parked to new tractors being built, but they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys.
Where do you think we'll see?
A lot of guys are showing interest in that class.
Yeah, well, now with
knew it.
Obviously Outlaw is already running the class, but PPL Western Series having the class now, a trial basis with Region 2. It's
yeah, but Region 2's running different rules, aren't they?
They don't have a box charger, right?
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm not going to get on that one, but yeah, it is a trial basis is what has been said. So they're going to try it. There's a lot of pro stocks in that area that basically are sitting. Yep. And so I do know that there's a lot of people in that area that are very seriously considering bringing some iron back out and or building, maybe jumping up into that class. So yeah. I think it'll be all right.
For the ones who bring it and bring the iron back out of the barn, are they going to run them for a year as a cast rear end? Because I presume the lion's share of the tractors that have been parked that could potentially be dusting off would be a cast rear end.
There are some components, some early components out there, but there's going to be a mix for sure.
What state do you think is going to be the strongest in terms of growth there? Illinois? Indiana?
No, I think you're going to see a strong push out of Missouri, and I think you'll see.
Well, I was getting kind of aside from Missouri because Missouri's got so many outlaws already there.
Yeah. You'll see some interest in the Illinois, but I really think if the Ohio, Indiana tractors jump in, and it may not be this year, but I mean, it depends on how that class goes over. There's a very limited number of hooks on the schedule so far. I think a lot of the promoters are waiting to see, how many are going to get in there. But if the guys can get in there and bring 6 or 7 good tractors this year, I think you'll see that Eastern contingent really get bigger in a hurry because there's a lot of guys that can basically bolt on a charger and go.
Well, and I think what else we're going to see is some of the current pro stock competitors that don't want to keep spending and spending and spending just to stay competitive. I think some of them might decide that that's a better route to go. You're not sticking as much money because turbo technology is ridiculous right now. The tire game is ridiculous right now. And to keep up with some of these guys, you got to spend the money, and you're still going to be spending money at the 5.0 level, but I don't think it's going to be as much. So
the maintenance is the big, or I'll say maintenance, but you're not going to be, if you pop a charger, you're not going to be as bad.
Mhm.
Jeremy, yes, it is a brand new build.
What's the
tuned.
difference in cost between, generally speaking, what's the difference in cost between a 5-inch charger and a 6 dot blah, 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 blah,
Where
charger?
they're at.
Maybe double.
So we're going
It's
from a 10 to a 20, or are we going from a 15 to a 30, or
roughly.
Yeah.
yes,
Roughly.
Yes.
fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, at you know, you're going to be roughly 1,000 back of a full pro. Not near as hard. You don't have the intercooler, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, some of these intercoolers, they can get pretty pricey, and God forbid you swallow a charger and take a core out. Some of them have cores that can be changed. Some of them you have to buy a new intercooler or cut them apart and change the cores out. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah. The coolers, and like I said, there's a big swing in coolers as far as price, but with that higher price on the coolers, you do have some basically repairability. You may buy it a full blown cooler, but if you can swap a core out easy enough, and some of these new coolers, very simple to swap a cooler out or swap a core out. So, there's drawbacks. You pay less for one that has to be essentially, in some cases, scrapped versus one that can be repaired. But yeah, I think that 5-inch class has got a lot of potential for everything that everybody's saying. I know there's a lot of organizations that are considering it as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully it'll bring some tractors back out that haven't seen in a while, but time will tell. I hope it goes over well.
It will. I think we all know that.
There are certain things that personally I wish would happen, but I think you'll see a lot of them get back out.
Brent Colt, is it Connor Sailor? No, which one? The boy
Colton
might be interested in the Pullers Championship. I'm just going through my Facebook Messenger. Told me to get a hold of you. Have you reached out to him yet?
I haven't reached out to a lot of people yet.
Okay. Is ITPA, are they doing the 5.0 class? Doug wants to know, Paul. Do you know?
Being discussed
December 9th.
The 9th and the 10th of December. That is the banquet in Springfield, and we have our class meetings there, so it will be discussed for sure. It is on the agenda. It was discussed at the zone meetings, and will be on the agenda.
Got it. Love it.
Really, the only way they make a go of that class is if they do have a standardized box charger, right? Am I right in that thinking?
Yeah, well, and the thing about it is you're so close to Western Series, which is box charger, and you're not that far from a lot of Outlaw hooks,
right,
which runs the box charger. It makes sense to do that, and guys can jump back and forth and hook with different associations, and I think that was kind of the plan between the Western Series adopting that class as well, so because they are in such close proximity, try to have more tractors and then not schedule over the top of each other to where they can do that. So I think you'll see a lot of guys that'll jump back and forth, but that is kind of the general consensus of that class. And it's also to kind of put a limit on some of the updates for the chargers. I know turbo manufacturers, one in particular that would love to see it, because you could do a production run of these chargers and try to get ahead, as opposed to always constantly trying to do updates and get new guys or get chargers in and then turn them around so guys can have the next 20, 25, 30, 100, whatever horsepower it is. So it would help them tremendously.
I did see a comment there. Where did Fastlane go? I believe Jeff still has that.
As far as I know, he still has it, doesn't he?
Yeah, I remember seeing a picture a while ago of Him just is just a bare chassis.
If I remember right, I kind of remember him doing an interview with Leslie or somebody saying that he really did want to get that tractor back out in 23.
We'll see. Time is the only thing that will tell.
Yep. Well, guys, let's wrap it up.
Well, let's ask
watching.
one question of the people who are commenting, because there are plenty who've heard me ask the question. But if you were taking a tractor pulling or a truck pulling, no matter what the class, no matter where we are in history, and you didn't have to pay for it, if you wrecked it or if you whatever, what would you take, and where would you go pull? We always ask the people who are guests on the show. Now we're asking the people who are watching the show. Throw it in the comments, or if you're listening to this tomorrow or later on down the line, send us a message to one of our social media inboxes. Tell us, what would you take pulling, and where would you take it, and why? I mean, we're totally free reign here. If you want to take, I don't know, Esden's tractor from 1986, let's rock and roll. Do it. Tell me why. Tell me where you're going to take it.
Wyatt and Shane want me to give a shout out for the Power Ranking Show this Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, doing mods this week, modified.
Boy, those guys just want all the clout, don't they?
They do. Well, they're doing a good job, so we're going to give them a little silver ball.
Some people's kids.
Shane Hunt says Meltdown, Bowling Green.
Ooh, that'd be a hard one to beat.
That makes Paul happy. Doug Borth. I
know that tractor well.
The diesel Hemi mod from Europe. What was that thing called?
I don't know the actual name of it.
Sledhunden or something?
Yeah.
The Sled Hunter?
The Sled Hunter, that's right.
Or maybe, yeah, I think, I kind of think that might be what it was.
Look at Morgan Schulte, 4-play in Bowling Green, Braybex in Bowling Green, Van Reb and Toma.
Moose, 1.
Pretty specific there.
1.
At this point today, I take triple bypass or El Nina, not sure where, from Mr. Built Diesel Mafia himself.
Mark we don't care what he thinks. We want to know what Tiffany would take driving.
Florida Cracker Aerogator.
Wow.
The end. I love it. Oh, I love it.
That's impressive. That is Charles Posh approved. Is it not?
Chandler Picker says Workhorse Pro at Wisner, Nebraska.
Which generation and why?
Oh, here we go, Chandler.
Because there have been several at Wisner, not including the current.
Alan Ulmer says double stuffed. I agree.
Russell says Eleanor. That does not surprise me in the slightest. I know you well.
Carlton says Hunden Hound. I don't know what that means. Help me out, guys.
That's the mod name.
Yeah, you're right, Jason. I did say it wrong.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking for video of it right now.
I didn't take German in high school. I took Spanish.
Me too. There it is. I found it. This thing is unbelievably mean, and this has inspired a lot of comments. Way to drive the algorithm, Bruce. Proud of you.
It's what I do.
This thing is dumb.
Yeah, that thing is pretty much utterly ridiculous. Like, I'm not the one to go to talk about Greta intensifying, but screw it. Greta intensifies right there.
I think that's European mods are the best. I don't care what anybody says. Just the different combinations. I love them. Love it, love it, love it. I don't think this thing's. Somebody said it was. I think it was taken apart or whatever.
Yeah, it's parted out.
I believe that's true.
This video is from I Own a Ferguson on YouTube. If anybody's looking for it.
If I Own a Ferguson ever gets to the United States of America, we need to have him on the show, or we need to just sit down and have a beer and dinner with that guy. Have you ever looked through, Jason? Have you ever actually, or any of you guys actually looked through some of the stuff that he's recorded?
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, there's this.
Oh
YouTube-
my goodness, he has way too much fun.
Yep.
Like he has more fun than Adam Wilson. How is that possible?
I don't know. Mike Gott says early 2000s vintage dreaded red anywhere. Love that
Nice.
tractor. Randy Proctor, mean old Alice. Thank you, Randy. Randy's
Nice.
watching YouTube. Shane Hunt says Redline Fever 2, Chapel Hill.
Didn't he already answer?
Yes.
I mean, we
Shane,
can't stop him.
Make
from
up your
typing.
friggin' mind.
He
working
he,
the
he
algorithm.
changes his answer again too. So
Uh-huh.
Colin Burkholtz says triple bypass Toma. Shocker, I know.
Yeah, but the thing is, you'd probably try and put 1456 sheet metal on it before it went down the track.
1465. He's going to switch two numbers.
Oh, is that
around.
what it is?
Yep. Adam Wilson said Tiff's passed out.
Wake her up.
Keith Haynes, suspension of ignorance.
Keith Haynes, you and all right. Now we're talking.
He's a Michigan guy.
He
Keith
very,
is.
very clearly. Keith, I will drink to that any day of the week. 100%.
So Morgan, he came back with one, and he said foreplay.
Foreplay as in Holland,
truck.
right?
He had picked three, and you called him out.
Right, I did. Just because
Mean
I mean
old
that's what I
Alice
do when
Toma.
it comes to moose.
Shane Hunt says, "Never mind, I changed my answer."
Of course you do.
Rust also says Scrappy and Rockwell. Ooh.
Well, then I guess Eleanor has to go on the trailer, and Mark is going to be disappointed in you.
Lordy Days in. Sorry, just give me one. Screaming Demon 2.
Oh, Keith, you just killed it. And I'm a huge Screaming Demon fan, but Suspicion of Ignorance is the only tractor, the only Grand National or Regional National tractor to ever come from my hometown. So my family used to do business with them.
Gary Sellers.
Quite a bit of
Wild
business, actually.
Rock Valley is an honorable mention, if possible, because multi-engine diesel mods. I mean, daggum.
Right?
Keith Haynes says, hell yeah. Nick Coors, Red Line Fever Light, Rossville,
Ooh.
Illinois. Way to go, Nick. I like it.
Reaching back a little bit. Atta baby.
All right, what about you, Roos?
Man, if it were anything, it would be Screaming Demon 2. Where would it be? I would sit in my driveway and just let it idle. And I would be the happiest man in the friggin' universe. And Wyatt, I'm still looking for that answer. And when I find it, I will text you.
And me.
That too. There are not very many tractors that are on my bucket list that I have not had a chance to photograph. The Screaming Demon 2 is one of them, and I will not miss a chance to do so. I don't care where that thing makes a debut. If it comes back out on the track, I will be there.
Robbie Fagundes is awake. It's only like 5 in California. Green
Yeah, he hasn't
Street
had
for
dinner yet.
Screws. That is awesome.
Robbie, what track?
I love that.
What track? Where can you take it that'll hold the power?
Bowling Green, baby.
Oh,
True.
Because
Who's
they
running-
won with it.
who's running the screw blowers now today?
Benedict and Chriswell. I think that's it. No, and then Bollinger's and
Corzines, aren't they?
Corzines.
when they run this year they didn't run unlimited at all.
That's true.
And then
Robbie says Farley. He wants
I
to
believe,
blow it.
You know, that's Robbie, I get where you're coming from there. That's a good point.
That's tight there.
mhm.
If there's a track that'll take that power and put it to work, that'll do
He said with shitty air.
it.
Let's see here. Brian Bricker was at the toy show in Dyersville.
And so why are you asking us where Screaming Demon 2 is?
Well,
Why
technically,
didn't you
why I
ask
did.
him? And why haven't you texted
Hey.
me?
Mark
Uh-oh.
Holner just said it's in Missouri.
All right, Elmer, you've been telling me that for a while. I'm going to find you at the banquet this weekend. You're going to tell me who has it, okay? It'll stay between you and me. I will give you that. But
After he texts Yaron, Omer.
Maybe I'll make Yaron pay me $20 to find out. But
I love it. Jason Carlton says Justice is John Deere 4010 White Lightning.
wow.
Pretty much anywhere with a good biting track and the best 75 to 95 super stock tractors to run against. That's a hell of an answer, Jason.
That is geez, Carlton. Well done.
Okay.
All right.
Road trip.
Carlton, Jason, what decade would that be in? Just, I mean, humor me and
That'd be
where would
early
that
90s, right? Paul, early 90s, mid 90s?
Well, no, I'm saying what decade, if I told him you can go back in time and run this, who would you run it against? What decade, give or take?
Late 90s.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Russ says, last answer, any.
Well, that's given.
Any. Jeremy, yeah. We're speaking about Screaming Demon too. The one Tom Nixon pulled? No.
No, because that was the 666 or the 686.
686, I believe, yeah.
The Screaming Demon 2 was when Jerry had it, it was 986 sheet metal, I think. And when Brian had it, it was 1586, or it was the other way around. I can't remember which. I suppose I could go and actually look. Hang on. Give me 15 seconds.
He's got a model of it, I think.
Yes. When Jerry had it, it was 986 sheet metal. Or at least for some of the time.
Mark Ulmer, the Encyclopedia of Tractors. Yes, he is. Facebook's doing ads during live videos now? Seriously?
No, Jason Schultz is doing ads again because you're remonetized.
Oh, that's right. Do they actually stop, show like a YouTube video?
They might.
Wow.
Yeah, it's about some guy from Wisconsin selling mortgages too. It's weird.
Hopefully we made $1. So sending you a pic. Okay, Markham, I'm ready.
Oh man, you're not sending those feet pics again. We told you not to do that.
Gotcha. Final answer, Shane. I'd love to take my dad's D20 at least once. Now that's cool. That's cool.
Since
I'm gonna wait for Mark's picture here.
Hey, Ham. FYI, I believe that I'm going to be in town on the 26th. Hope you will be too.
I won't be.
Huh?
I won't be.
Why not? I'm not going to lie. I'm going up there to South Dakota for a hell of a cool tractor auction.
I'm going to be in the woods hunting.
I will be playing with other types of deer.
Fair enough.
Factory open station sound guard eras, 40 and 50 series.
Robert Dinner says Tinker Toy, Louisville, Kentucky, with Don in the seat one more time. I think, yeah, that would be.
I would give just about anything for that.
Okay. Guys, let's wrap it up. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Brent, thank you for all your hard work with the stuff behind the scenes. As always with the Pullers Championship. Thanks to all the fans for commenting, all the pullers. We're hoping to have a bigger and better event. Pack the stands, guys. So, Bruce, final words?
Interesting iron this week is going to be about a D21. You have D21 experience? I want to hear from you.
Brent, final words?
Well, just stay tuned to the Pullers Championship Facebook page, website. News is going to keep getting posted over the next several months at this point. So pretty much weekly, we'll have updates with the initial invites, as well as we start getting closer to the fan votes. Once that starts rolling, we'll be on the countdown at that point. So, but yeah, it's grind time. And if you guys have any sponsors, potential sponsors, please send them our way. Otherwise, that's all I got.
Mr. Romack?
Yeah, what Brent said, and keep an eye on the 618 Motorsports Facebook page. That's all I'm going to say.
Also, to my friends from the Outlaws, if that man asks you for a microphone during open mic night, do not give it to him. See you guys.
Peace.
See ya.
What a dink. He rails me and then he logs off.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
All right.
Yeah, please. We need sponsors and we need help getting the word out about our awesome event for the pullers. So,
All right. We'll see you guys later.
have a good night, guys.
See ya.